On November 2nd, 2025, I reached my 400th day of drawing the Greek myth of Sisyphus every day. If you do not know, in Greek mythology, the tyrant king of Corinth was sentenced to Tartarus as he cheated death by tricking the god of death, Thanatos. His punishment was to push a boulder up a hill, just for it to roll back down whenever he got to the top for all of eternity. My inspiration to draw Sisyphus daily specifically as a means to learn how to draw is obvious, but there is also inspiration from the myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus. This video is simply me discussing or yapping about the drawings from day 301 through 400. The videos about 1 through 100, 101 through 200, and 201 through 300 are on this channel. If you want to see me post art with an inconsistent schedule, mind you, then you can follow me on Twitter. It's nothing good yet, of course, but I'd also like people to talk to, so I guess you can add me on Discord. The Twitter thing and Discord are in the description. I mean, no one really pays attention to this, which is fair, because it's not there yet, so I will respond. So, thank you, enjoy.
Okay, hi, so it turns out, fucking OBS is a dumbass, and just didn't scale to my screen automatically when I was recording. So now I have to do everything again because you can't see half of the drawing. So I have to go through everything again. I am recording right now, right? Yeah. Like, you can see the black bars on the side because it didn't scale to my screen. So I have the whole recording for the last video, and sorry, I just got it for no reason. I have the entire video recorded for the whole thing recorded already, but it's cut off on the edges. You can't see what's the drawing. That's why the footage at the beginning of this video looked like that. And I'm just too lazy to record more footage, to be honest with you. So, yeah, okay. God, I'm so pissed. Alright. Oh my god, I have to explain all this again! Wait. How do I just... Oh, whatever. Okay, so, this is, day 300. Yeah, you saw the last video, I hope, right? Please say you did. Okay, so day 301, as I was on vacation when I started day 300, or day 300s, so they're kind of, not many of them have effort here. I mean, that's actually the case for most of them, because I entered college, so, yeah. Sorry, I'm pissed off. Anyways, so, yeah, day 301. I was at my online friend's house, sleeping over there, so I didn't put much effort into it, but he ended up keeping this one. You can also see, like, an eraser mark here, because I drew the whole thing, and I was like, I know I can do better. Even if it's nothing good, I can do something better, and that's what this ended up being. Something not good, but something better than what it was before. Okay, day 302. Again, just a quick sketch at night, in a hotel room. Just, you know, something, at least. Again, not much effort, been very busy, but I have been doing, trying to do digital drawing once every 10 days, and you will see. So, day 303, I did this one on a boat. It was like a little cruise thing in Canada. We got to see a lighthouse at the sunset, and they had a little bar, and I asked, hey, do you guys have a pen? Because I forgot drawing utensils, but I brought the sketchbook, so got to do that. It took a few attempts, and I also drew a drawing on the boat. Of a view I had from the boat, which I don't have a picture of here. But if you want it, you can come talk to me. Please do. Yeah. If you wanna, I'll give it to you. If you're curious, I guess. Please do. I want to talk to people. I'm bored. This is day 304. It's kind of hinting towards what's gonna happen later. Oh yeah, and he's also walking towards something. So usually, like, if you haven't watched the other ones, like, I had like a little, like, I guess, story where he's going up multiple mountains. The mountain for this one is barely a mountain. You'll see why. So yeah, that's him peering. That's like supposed to be a door. This is the view through the door when he gets down there. And then day 305, if you don't know, it's the gates of hell from Dante's Inferno. So yeah, I didn't have much time, but I was gonna originally try and have the words kind of, you know, in perspective, and then I realized how much time that would take, and I didn't have time because I was on vacation, so I just put them behind it. Yeah, abandon all hope you enter here. So what I did for this, the day 300s, because the number 3 is important to Dante's. I mean, obviously to Christianity in general, but Dante was really obsessed with the number 3. So, the day 300s, I drew him going through going through Dante's Inferno, progressing a layer every 10 days. So at the very beginning, he was in the vestibule of hell, / the shores of Acheron, starting in the vestibule. So now this is all the information we'll be talking about Dante's Inferno is off the top of my head. So please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, if you're even bothered watching this. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I might not remember all of it as well. But the vestibule of hell, it's for people who only were motivated by their own goals, by their own passions, I suppose, you're just only motivated for themselves. They didn't take a side in life. They were either evil or they were good. Am I still recording? Yes, I'm just making sure periodically. And it's actually recording the whole thing, right? They didn't take a side, good or evil. Sorry, I should probably be more thorough. And because of that, they're not placed in hell, technically, nor are they placed in purgatory or heaven. Their punishment, I guess, is to chase a banner in a big line for all of eternity. Of course, I'm not going to say for all of eternity after all of them. Like, you can assume it's hell. It's for all of eternity. So their punishment is to chase this banner representing the banner representing how they only pursued their own goals and passions. While being stung by hornets and wasps, and their blood would trickle down to the floor to be eaten by maggots. I don't remember what the symbolism of the hornets and wasps and maggots is. I don't know if there is any. If there is, tell me, or I'll look it up afterwards. I can't be bothered. So yeah, that's Sisyphus. I mean, it's an alright drawing. You can see the pencil marks of the words on the other page in the sketchbook. But yeah, I think I did okay with having the perspective of a bunch of, and you can see the banner kind of at the end there, but perspective of a bunch of people in a line. It was a quick little drawing. And then day 307. Funny thing about this one is that I was in a hotel room for this night only this night, and the hotel room number was 307, which was a cool coincidence. But anyways, it's pretty stiff anatomy, I'd say here. I'm not good at anatomy at all, really. I'm not good at anything, but anatomy is definitely not one of my strong suits. But so there's not much of a gesture here, but yeah, whatever. I like to think that the shores of Acheron are kind of, because Dante's Inferno, he has his little structure of hell, have that vestibule, and then, like in Greek and Roman mythology, you have the river Acheron, or it Styx usually, but I think it was Acheron, the Dante's Inferno, where the ferryman Charon would take you to hell, or the underworld. Nothing about coins having to pay the ferryman during your burial, I don't think, though. Of course, because it's Christian, not Greek, Roman. But yeah, so I think he also mentioned fallen angels angels who didn't take a side in the war against Satan. So that's what I have kind of there. And then it's supposed to be just stormy and blowing and stuff, and those are all the souls that are going to the shores to, be ferried. So yeah, and he's pushing his rock, of course. Day 308, basically the same scene, or the same place, but I was tired, so it's lazier. Day 309, okay, so we've met the ferryman, Charon. I think the face is really bad, but I think the rest of the body, its anatomy is pretty good. The foreshortening's pretty good, I think. I like the boat as well. The water and the environment are very simple and, I guess, rushed almost, but a lot of it was on the body there. And at this point, I think I had returned from Canada. But another funny thing about this is that I was watching The Shining while making this. That's why it took so much longer, because I paid attention to The Shining more than I drew. Don't worry, I actually liked the movie, and I was paying attention to it. So, that's why it took so long. That's why I finished at 9:57 p.m. there. So yeah, that was the digital drawing for the vestibule of hell / Acheron. And then 310 is him reaching the first layer, Limbo, but it's not that good. It was rushed. Because around this point is when I had to go to college. My first year of college. I'm still in that now, which sucks. I'm making sure that this is picking up my mic. Yeah, it is. Sorry, this is very disorganized if you couldn't tell. So Limbo, the first layer of hell, is for, as Dante describes them, virtuous pagans. There's also people I'm pretty sure like people who weren't baptized, but the virtuous pagans were simply, virtuous pagans who were born before Christ came. So there are people like Virgil, Socrates, Plato, Aeneas is there actually. Pretty surprising. He has a lot of, well, actually no, it's not surprising. He has a lot of mythological symbolism. I mean, Charon was literally there. The ferryman of hell from Greek mythology. Who else is in limbo? Pretty sure like Diogenes is mentioned, but I'm pretty sure it's either referring to like the Diogenes, the Mr. Barrel guy, or some other Diogenes guy. Some other guy was named that. Who else was there? Julius Caesar's there, which is funny because he has in violence against neighbors, he has Alexander the Great and Attila the Hun, which they basically did the same thing as Julius Caesar. Just kill a fuck ton of people with a big empire. But Dante was a Catholic Catholic Italian nationalist, so he just really liked Rome. In fact, in Treachery, the ultimate punishment at the very bottom of hell, layer 9 is Treachery, the very bottom of hell, there's 3 people receiving the ultimate punishment, which is being munched on by the jaws of Satan for all of eternity. And of course he has Judas there, because that's the ultimate treachery. But he puts next to him Brutus and Cassius, the Roman senators who led the assassination against Julius Caesar, which is crazy to compare to, I'd say. At least I'm not Christian, but I mean, I'm looking at this from a perspective, like, I think if you're looking at a Christian perspective, betraying Christ cannot be on the same scale as fucking betraying Caesar. Maybe it was like, because he has 3 heads, Satan, and he's munching on all of them, so maybe, I'm completely saying this out of my ass, but maybe he has, like, them not in the middle heads, so it's a little lower, like on the side heads, so it's a little lower. I don't know, that's probably not described. But anyways, yeah, so Limbo, there's no punishment. I mean, I'm a big Ultra Kill fan, and I'm guessing, like, a lot of the people who watch this will be too. So it's not like an Ultra Kill, where it's kind of like this mockery of heaven, and you start to go insane. It's just eternal boredom. It's just, like, eternal regret that you never got to see Christ or something like that. So, it's not really a punishment, but he says it's like eternal sighing. I'm pretty sure he uses the, like, just the words eternal sighing, at least in the translation. I read the John C.R.D. translation. So, where was I? Yeah. And there's another part where he says, like, he sees all these philosophers and famous figures, and he says that it's, like, in fact, he almost says it's, like, sorry, I'm saying the word like and a lot, filler words. I'm a bit stupid, I know. But he says its light was as glorious, but he knew it was nothing compared to the light of God. Yeah, you get it. Anyways, okay, so that's day 310. 311, same level of effort, just pushing him, because I'm pretty sure it's Limbo's depicted as a forest type environment. So I personally like to think of it as a nighttime forest I think that's kind of slightly influenced by that. My perception of it is kind of slightly influenced by the Ultra Kill level 1-4 Clair de Lune. I just like to think of it this nice nighttime forest. God, can my phone stop going off? Sorry. But yeah. Pushing it through forest. And then again, same thing, just kind of complicated, very undetailed, but hey, at least I put something into it. And then 313, I don't know, don't ask. 314, okay, so there are times where either if you've seen my other ones, like, this is very common environment I draw him in, where he's like on a kind of like a terrace on a hill, and there's mountains in the background. So a lot of the drawings aren't in Dante's Inferno. It was just like I didn't have much effort, so I wanted to just do something I was familiar with. Or on special occasions like this, where it was day 314, Pi Day, I took a break from that and did something else. So of course I just drew a bunch of circles. I kind of liked the just style of this. It was interesting. But yeah, Pi Day, so it's all circular and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't like to draw not limbs. There's like a specific term for like hands and feet. It's like, I'm gonna sound so stupid. It's like extremities or something. I don't know. But I don't like drawing those, if you can tell. Anyways. So, interesting things about this one. I almost lost it. For some reason, I saved it to my work in like so I have this folder for old versions of drawings. Because sometimes you rename a file, right? Like, I think I made it because I had so many old versions of day 111, which was that Leviathan drawing. Because when I first started drawing it, I thought it was going to be a different day. Or I thought it was going to be the day I started drawing it. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to finish this today. So I made a fill-in drawing. And then I renamed it to Sisyphus 107. Same thing happened, had to rename it to 108, make a fill-in drawing for 107. And it got to the point where I was like on day 109, 110, I was like, I might as well just make this day 111. So I have like, but of course, since I just did a file save as in Krita, I still have those old versions of them. So I just made a folder for old versions. Like I still have 107.kra, but it's just like an incomplete version of the Leviathan drawing. So I just moved all those to this incomplete version of it, or the incomplete folder. But for some reason, I put this in there, even though it was done. And I promise you it's not because I didn't add feet. Like, no, I completed it without adding feet. So I don't know why that was the case. But anyways, yeah, I just looked in there. I was like, oh, thank God, there it was. Because I was like looking through, I was like, I didn't forget to draw it. I knew I drew it because it was 314. It was Pi Day. I knew I did something. And I was like, remember specifically, yeah, I went to a Shakespeare play on that same night. I know I finished it. So I was like going crazy, but I found it, so we're good. Anyways, yeah, let's say 314. 315, don't ask. 316. This is like some abstract interpretation I wanted to really quickly do because I was really tired. And I was like, what's like the most silly, like what's the best way I can like show my mind right now? And it was just like this weird abstract version of it. So day 316, okay, I don't know if this was the specific day, but by now I think I was in college. Because I remember drawing this, because I have the Sisyphus statue. I have the Sisyphus statue on my desk that my uncle's wife gave. I don't know what that would be. I think it's like aunt. I don't know. I'm not sure, but yeah, I guess my uncle's wife gave to me in England because she's awesome. And it was disposed, so I just used that as a reference because I put it on my desk at college. I was like, you know what? I'll use this as a reference for today. Okay, 317, another thing. I mean, at least these are all, except for 314, like kind of in limbo, but whatever. 317, same thing, yeah. Oh, 318. So I was like in this little like program for like 2 weeks before I started the actual semester at college, and one of the things we did is drew like, because I'm a astrophysics major, we drew artistic interpretations of physics concepts. I did I don't know what I had acceleration or some bullshit, so I just drew a Kerbal Space Program rocket and had Jeb in the corner and everything. But anyways, I found someone else who had some mountain type thing, and I just quickly drew T318 on top of it. You're gonna have it. This is the wrong way around. It's, for some reason it was flipped when I took the picture, and I can't be bothered to flip it. I don't know how to do it on this. So turn your head to the right, and you will see what it is. Okay, 319. Ooh, that's bad. That's so bad. I'm sorry. That is so bad. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, okay, it's recording it correctly. Ugh, yeah, it's supposed to be him meeting Virgil, because Dante's guide through the Inferno and Purgatory is Virgil, because it was like one of the most influential authors on him. I'm reading like the Aeneid, and I think it's book 6 where he goes to Hades, or to the underworld, and there's where it's like he's describing specific punishments for different sins. It's like, yeah, you can kind of see the influence on Dante that Dante had, or that it had on Dante there. So I wanted to meet, and that's supposed to be Homer. Homer was there too, and Socrates. Yeah, it's not that good. It's okay. Like, what the fuck is that shading on Sisyphus? It's okay. I was tired, and I knew I needed to do digital drawing, so I just tried my best. Yeah, okay, let's skip this one. 320. Okay, so now he's in Lust. That's the second layer of hell. Lust. I'm assuming you know what that means. The punishment is you are just in a giant tornado or a cyclone of souls being blown around for all of eternity. There's figures there such as Achilles, Cleopatra. I can't remember, but that's the two most prominent people that I remember being in Lust. And Minos, he's the judge of hell. This is where you get judged if you're a sinner. I'll explain that later. But basically the punishment is like the giant cyclone. I guess it's supposed to be representing the fact that you were unable to resist the like blowing tempest of lust, like the just passion of it, the fierce passion of it. So yeah, I could be wrong on that, but that's what I think it is. So yeah, that's what those really shittily drawing tornadoes supposed to be. 321, it's an okay drawing. At least it was an okay one for 321. But yeah, he's just going down a little terrace. I don't know. I make like really kind of unnatural shapes for it. It's fine. It's hell. It's supposed to be unnatural. That's why this is that really famous depiction of Dante's Inferno you'll always see. I don't remember what it was called, but it's purposely uneven because it's hell and you are condemned. You are away from God. So it is not perfect. So it's uneven. That's why he made it uneven. The artist. I can't remember who it was. Okay, 322. I like the pose on this one. It's pretty interesting. I think I did a good job at articulating it. 323. He's about to go into a cave to meet Minos. 224. Took a quick break, and I drew day 324 on a whiteboard on the bathroom door of my friend's room. Dorm suite thing in college. It actually lasted a while. It's erased now, but it lasted a good few weeks, I think. Maybe a month or two, actually. I don't know. 318 definitely did not last that long. It was chalk. Probably, I don't know. I never went back and checked, but it's definitely not there anymore because it's like a pretty giant, like a place where a lot of people walk through on campus. Okay, 325. Lazy. 326. I drew this one while they were during a little lecture at that program thing I mentioned about imposter syndrome. I was very, very bored. It's supposed to be like sun, I guess the diffraction specs of looking at the sun. Almost, that's the best term I can think of. And the anatomy was referenceless. I mean, a lot of the anatomy on this was referenceless, actually, but I'll digress. I digress. 327. Very quick. It's supposed to be a tornado, I promise you. 328. I don't like it either. It's not that good. It's Minos, though. So, yeah, basically, once you go past Limbo, if you're not a virtuous pagan or whatever, you would go to the second through ninth layer. And to figure out which one you go through, you meet Minos, or in Dante's Hell, you meet Minos, the Greek mythology judge of hell. Like in the Aeneid, he mentions like Rhadamanthus, and I think he mentions Rhadamanthus and some other judges of hell. But Minos is the one that has the final say over it, King Minos of Crete. Sorry. What was I saying? Yeah. So, basically you would go be judged by Minos, and the snakes that wrap around him, he has those snakes wrap around your soul, and the number of times they wrap around your soul is the layer of hell you're going to go to. So, by the way, for this one and day 309, I used the Gustave Doré illustration of Charon on Dante's Inferno, because he's this artist who made an illustration of like almost every scene from Dante's Inferno and Purgatorio and Paradiso. He made that really famous picture of Lucifer descending. It's a depiction from John Milton's Paradise Lost. You've probably seen it. Look it up. Gustave Doré, Lucifer descending, or Satan falling. I don't know the name, but you've seen it. It's in Chainsaw Man manga. In the Chainsaw Man manga. In fact, a depiction of Dante's Inferno is in the Chainsaw Man manga as well, by Gustave Doré. It replaces the illustration on Makima's wall, and it's the first thing you see in the opening for season 1 of Chainsaw Man. And I would have watched Chainsaw Man a lot sooner if someone told me that. If it had it had so much cool Christian imagery, no one told me that. But anyways, but yeah, and I also used the Gustave Doré drawing of King Minos. Here Minos lies, Canto 5. Canto 5, whatever how you say it. But yeah. I drew this, I drew a good portion of this one while at like some paint night event at that program. It was pretty cool. And at 329, lazy. Okay, 330, so now he's in Gluttony. Gluttony, if you're in Gluttony, your punishment is you're in this big area of just mush, slush is raining down on you, cold slush is raining down on you for all of eternity, while Cerberus ravages the entire place and just rips sinners apart. Pretty simple. So, 331, that's just supposed to be like the mushy terrain and the rain on them. 332, I'll explain more why it's just this in a second. And then 333, there's Cerberus. So, I wanted to draw Cerberus on 333 for a very long time, because 3 heads, 333, 3 threes, and I fucked it up, because I thought I was on 333, but I was on 332. So the thing I actually made on day 33 is being used for 332, and the thing I made on 332 is being used for 333. Let's pretend that's not the case. Let's just pretend I did it on day 33, Or 333, okay? Let's just pretend I did it on then, alright? Alright? Yeah, I made this on day 333, alright? I'll kill you if you say otherwise. Okay. 334, it's supposed to be him, like, just finding a leg or something. And now looking back on it, I don't know why I made the leg so disproportionate to him. But yeah, just a leg in the middle of nowhere, probably torn off by Cerberus. Could be a big guy, it could be like Ajax the Great or something, I don't know. Or Ajax the Greater, sorry. Anyways, 335, I drew this one while hanging out. It wasn't at the club, but I'm like in 2 like art clubs at my uni. And they did some like thing, not for the club, just in general, to like a little hangout at a cafe. We actually went to my favorite cafe that I always go to, but there was nowhere to sit, so we had to go somewhere else. But I drew this while hanging out with them. For day 335. It's just supposed to be a bunch of people in Gluttony, kind of splayed about, because that's what they are. But I made 2 orientations of them because we had to do just to submit, because the semester began by now, and in my beginning drawing class, we had to do a, like, practice submission. So we just drew whatever we want, and then had to practice following the instructions for the submission. And the instructions was to take a picture of it in a vertical and horizontal orientation. So, yeah, that's why there's 2. Because I have 2 files in my Sisyphus drawings folder. One's just the regular one, and one's the horizontal one. And they're both JPEGs, not PNGs. The rest of them are PNGs. These are the only JPEGs in my folder, because I can't be bothered to change them. Anyways, day 336 and 337. So, I don't know if I've done this. I think I did this in previous days, but I can't remember. When I make lazy drawings, I kind of get mad at myself, and I want to make that page in my sketchbook a little more interesting. So I just draw, like when I'm on like a streak of making a lot of lazy drawings, I just draw all of them on one page, so the page is at least a little interesting. 338, I didn't do that for this one, though. And then 339. Yeah, 330s weren't that good, but whatever. And then day 340, now he's in greed. So in greed, there's like these 2 types of sinners, 2 types of people who are greedy, and it's not like an ultra kill where it's just straight up Sisyphus's punishment in ultra kill. In Dante's Inferno, what it is they have these massive boulders. One group of greedy people, the hoarders, throw the rocks at the wasters and go, "Why do you waste?" And then the wasters throw the rocks back and go, "Why do you hoard?" And they just pummel each other with rocks for all of eternity. It's so funny. I love it. So day 341, so at one of the art clubs, we were doing something where someone would describe a character to you, and you would have to draw it. And then whoever made the best drawing, and I did, I'm not gonna lie, I made some pretty good ones, but I didn't get picked. It's whatever, I suck at drawing. Whoever made the best drawing of whatever, got it correctly, and made the best drawing of what it was supposed to be, would get to describe the next one. So they had to describe the character, and without saying its name or what it's from, and then you'd have to draw it. So I don't know what it was that I had. I think it was like Wednesday Addams, but I had no idea who that was. So someone just said, "Why don't you make a Sisyphus with that description?" Instead, it was like gothic, or it's like long black nails or something. I was like, "Sure, I'll make my Sisyphus that for the day." And there we go. That's what it was. 342 and 343 are stuffed in this one. I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, so 344. There you go. I started to do actual Greek punishment, just throwing boulders at the hoarders and going, "Why do you hoard?" And then this one, they throw back and go, "Why do you waste?" And he's just kind of like cowering behind the boulder. You can see them still doing it. And then he's going, wait, please don't say I messed up the order here. I did mess up the order. Okay, pretend this guy's saying, "Why do you hoard?" Okay? And then this one he's saying, "Why do you waste?" And I'm like, I don't know why I decided to do like a double page drawing here. It's interesting. Oh, I think it's because I started to make this line, and I was like, I just don't like the shape of this hill that I've made. Because I always start with the hill, so I just extended it. This is a pretty good drawing for 9:29 p.m. And then they throw it back and go, "Why do you hoard?" This one was a pretty good one. I like this one. Ooh, yes! Okay, so, in Dante's Inferno, before he sees all the people throwing rocks at each other, he sees Plutus, the god of wealth, the Greek god of wealth, like munching, like gnawing on his own fist and muttering some Italian gibberish along the lines of like "Papa Satan Aleppi, Papa Satan Aleppi." They haven't translated it or figured out what it means really. There's like a lot of guesses, but I mean obviously it involves Satan, so my interpretation of it, like I have like a silly little interpretation, like whatever I'm doing storytelling is like he's been corrupted by Satan, that God has. So that's what I did in my D&D campaign, because my D&D campaign started out with it being based on Dante's Inferno. So, yeah, he's just going Papa Satan. So I really like the art style. I don't like his face, but I really like the style of Plutus. I meant Sisyphus' face. I don't like Sisyphus' face here, but I really like what I did with Plutus' face, and just like the twisting of the limbs. I'm really proud of it. And again, I also used the Gustave Jory drawing of Plutus here as a reference. But yeah, I'm proud of this one. I like this one a lot, especially Elo. I just like the messiness of him. Okay, 350. Now he's in Wrath. I started to like I made a little like stick figure for like a skeleton, and I started to do it and then just gave up. But so now he's in Wrath. So in Wrath, the sinners are fighting each other in a swamp and are pulling each other down into it constantly, and are like forcing each other to suffocate and drown, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, straightforward. They're wrathful. Wow. Oh, it's funny because in this layer, actually, Dante sees this guy that personally wronged him in his real life, and then he has all the souls, commands all the souls to rip him apart, and then says, "I still thank God every day for that moment." He's so silly, bro. Making sure. Okay. So 351, I had to do gradient practice for the beginning drawing class, so I just slapped Sisyphus on top of it. We'd use different types of pencils for all of them. Yeah, there he is up there. And then we had to, in the drawing class as well, we had to do a still life of a fruit. I chose a banana. So on one of the rough drafts, which I actually ended up liking more than the final product, the final project was drawing paper and graphite pencil. The practice one was like newspaper, like newsprint and charcoal on newsprint. So, but I really liked the banana, so I just added Sisyphus to the banana, and you can see like the other one up there. But it's funny because when I first started doing this around the day 20s when I was in Colorado, if you remember, like all like day 20s are some of the day 20s, the first digital drawings too, because I was borrowing my brother's drawing tablet. The first of the day 20s are in Mountain Time, because I was at my brother's place, and he said you should draw him pushing a banana eventually. So I finally did it on day 352. So day 353, I drew a regular hill, but then I wanted to like something to indicate that he's in Wrath. And I did this while watching The Godfather, and I never finished The Godfather. Whoops. Anyways, I wanted something to indicate that he's on a hill, so I just added a little tree. Or that he's in Wrath, sorry, not on a hill. That he's in Wrath, so I just drew a tree, because it's like a swampy environment. And that's supposed to be the shading of the tree, but I'm not good at drawing. 354, at one of the art clubs, we had to do some skeleton thing. Or like, we were doing gesture drawing, so you had to make the skeleton of something, and then post it, and then someone would draw a character over it. So that's what I did for my Sisyphus drawing. No one drew it over mine, which is fair, but whatever. At least I got a Sisyphus drawing done. 350. Oh, okay. So these are all of the drawings until the year 1 mark, except for 364. So the first one was this boulder. That's what the like circle is, the arm and the bamboo, because the first one was on like World Bamboo Day or something, and then I just kind of added onto it over and over and over. Oh, and 359 is not in this one. But I like put one on his arm and then one in the boulder, which is just a replication of this one because it's on the page next to it. And then like, I did like a weird comic thing. Like, this one's upside down. I was trying to do something different, you know? Because I was really busy this week. Or these days. I drew one on the boulder, just one randomly there, but yeah. And then day 59. So I just drew him, like, strangling someone out of wrath, because he was, like, a violent tyrant. That's the whole thing, is that he was a tyrant. So I guess that's, like, him, like, his, like, old tendencies coming back here. But, I drew the line art for this guy, and then I got rid of it, and I was like, wait, this looks so much more just, like, off-putting and just disturbing. And it got the feeling I want across, because it's, like, wrath. You're succumbing to your wrath. It's, like, not supposed to feel good. It's not supposed to be a good thing. It's supposed to be, like, oh, God. So like the blank colors, I think really did a good job at articulating that. And especially on this guy, like, yeah. He looks fucked up, which is what I wanted. Okay. Day 364. Remember, like, all the other ones are on this one. So, day 364. So if you remember, I finished filling out the pages of a sketchbook and then started a new sketchbook, which is the one that, like, all of the sketchbook ones have been on lately for these last drawings. But for 364, because it was late at night and I just got home for, like, a break or something, but I wanted to make it a little bit special, so I just did the first page of another sketchbook that I have that I'm gonna use after I filled out all the pages of my current one to be day 364. And then this is day 365. It's alright. I'm like it. So layer 6 is heresy. People who committed heresy. So the terrible crime of simply being a Muslim. Yeah, Dante was not that good, let's be honest. He just made good literature. Or believing that the soul dies with the body, which is like why people like Frederick II or the Epicureans are here. And Epicurus himself. You believe the soul dies with the body, that's heresy. So you are put under a rock in a tomb that is on fire and burned alive and trapped for all of eternity. Yeah, that's a nice one. So this is him kind of pushing it away. The red sky, obviously influenced by Ultra Kill. But the like structuring, if those like red lines, that structuring of those red lines is influenced by Attack on Titan. I'm not going to say what it is because it's a giant spoiler, but if you know, you know. Like that like skeletal thing. Yeah, so if you know, you know. Oh, the reason why this one was so lazy is because I spent the whole day before it working on this one, and then I just had to quickly make this, and then I finished it the day after on actual day 365. There you go. Cool. I think the fire looks good too, but it's alright. It's an alright one. Okay, day 366. So because obviously, if you think about it, day 365 isn't going to be the 1 year anniversary. Day 366 is, because that's 365 days after day 1. So day 366 is that actual 1 year anniversary. This like never really occurred to me. It's not like I knew. It's not like I was thinking that day 365 is going to be the 1 year anniversary. It's just that like when I actually like started thinking about the 1 year anniversary, I was like, well, actually that'd be 366, wouldn't it? So, but it was like halfway through. I was like, oh yeah, that's what it's going to be. Anyways, you get what I mean. So I just traced the digital drawing, and I had to tear it out of my or I had to tear it or scissor it or something out of my sketchbook and just traced it on the drawing tablet. So it's not that good, but it's whatever. I do like how fucked up his face looks, though. It's kind of cool. Okay. And then 360, yeah, you can see where I tore out the page. But yeah, day 367, lazy one, a lot of effort. Oh yeah, by the way, I went to a Distant Worlds Final Fantasy concert the same day I drew this, or finished this, which is pretty cool. Anyways, day 368, same thing, lazy one. Not really sure what's going on here. And 369, it's a pretty alright one. I really like what my mountains look like, so if I am not really happy with a drawing and I am really tired or something like that, I just quickly add mountains because it makes it look a little bit better, because I'm much better at that than anatomy, I'd say. 370, it's supposed to be like where all of like the joints are, like string type structures, but it just kind of became a mess, but that's whatever. When I do really random stuff like that, it's because I'm usually really tired and it's just like, yeah, I want to do something at least a little bit unique. Okay, day 371, 372, 374, and 378. Again, that whole like all the lazy ones on one page thing, so the page of that sketchbook's interesting. 373, not really much to be said about this one. 385 and 375. I gotta remember on the last one, I almost like I said the last recording, I explicitly said, "Hey, remember day 385 is here, so don't panic when you get to it." And you're like, "Wait, why am I at 384 to 386 now?" And then I was like, and then when I got to there, I almost was like, "Oh crap, I forgot to put 385 in it," even though I explicitly reminded myself of it. But hey, this is my second time recording it, so I also put lazy bum joycat because I was mad at myself. And I feel like on Discord or something, you type joy_cat. If you have Discord or something like that, go do that and you'll see the emoji I'm talking about. Yeah, day 377, I was doing physics homework, and I was really pissed off and upset and tired and anxiety, and you get the idea. You can tell what was going on. I'm not going to speak about this one. 379, 388 was on this one, right? 370, I mean. Yeah, 370 was on this one. 379, I like this one a lot. I really like the landscape in the background. Oh yeah, he's in violence now. I got to explain violence. Okay, so there's 3 different sections of violence. This one that's being depicted, I didn't have time to put them in any of the other ones, so I kind of stuffed them all into the Sec 2 other parts into 380. But the first part is violence against neighbors, which is what I mentioned earlier with Attila the Hun. Neoptolemus is here, the son of Achilles, and Alexander the Great are here, despite Julius Caesar obviously should be here. He should be here, but Dante likes Roman people. Dick writes them. And that's why Neoptolemus is here, because if you don't know, he's like the guy who brutally murdered King Priam, the king of Troy, during the sack of Troy. But anyways, so this was I was gonna draw them actually painted, but then I was like, wait, this would be so much cooler of an effect if I did this weird glowing neon sign type thing and had it as a thing of depicting movement. And I should have done this on a lighter background, or I should have made the movement lines a different color, but hey, it still has the effect. But yeah, I forgot to mention what the violence against neighbors punishment is. I'm sorry. So in that, they are put into a boiling river of blood, the river Phlegethon. In Greek mythology, the river Phlegethon is this river of fire that I'm pretty sure goes through Tartarus. But in Dante's Inferno, it's a boiling river of blood. And if you try to crawl out, then a bunch of centaurs shoot you. And also in this section of violence, the Minotaur is there, and he goes to attack Dante and Virgil, but Virgil just tells the Minotaur, hey, I'm not the guy who killed you, Theseus. Leave us or this guy's not the guy who killed you. Dante's not the guy who killed you. It's not Theseus. Go away. So he did. Yeah. So then day 380, I just stuffed the next 2 into there. So the next part of violence is violence against self. Suicide, the woods of the suicides. So here, because you killed yourself and hurt your own body, disgraced your own body, your body is twisted into a tree and is pecked at by harpies. And you can only talk if your branches are actively being broken off. Yeah, that's screwed up. There's also people there who are being chased around and are forced to be, they're sprinting away from hellhounds and are being mauled by them, I think. So, yeah. And then the next section is violence against God, art, and nature. Those people are, I can't remember which one was which, but one of those people, more the violence against the good God, violence against nature, and violence against art, they're all doing different things in this section. So they're all on this giant field of burning sand, and they all have hellfire raining down on them. One of them, I'm pretty sure that this one's violence against nature, has to run across the field. I'm pretty sure that violence against... Wait, I just figured it out myself. Violence against God has to be stretched supine across it, because it's Capanius, I think his name is Canius. One of them, there's I think it's a giant who tried to overthrow Olympus, is stretched supine across the sand and is cursing Zeus. And then I guess the violence against the art have to be huddled up, or huddling up and crying. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure violence against nature is the people running across the sand, because Dante has a conversation with this guy who he knew, he respected and was his friend, but because he was gay, he has him on a burning field of sand with hellfire raining on him. Okay, bro, are we serious? Anyways, so yeah, 381, 382, 383, 384. I am tired. Pathetic. 385. Wait. Oh my god, I just did it again. It's in that old picture. 386. Pretty good one. I don't know why I like the posing like that, but it's an interesting one, these lines, too. 387. Okay. Oh, yeah, so now he's in fraud. So I obviously would not have had, time to put every single Bolgia of fraud. Wait, you don't know what that is. Basically, fraud, there's 12 different Bolgia, or male bulge. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's Italian for evil ditch. And the different types of fraud are in there. So I think the first one's the panderers and seducers, the first Bolgia, and they're walking in opposing lines, big single file lines, with by being whipped by demons. And then the second one, which is where he is, he's on a rock, a stone bridge over it, is the flatterers, and they're drowning in a river of excrement, because the excrement is representing their words. So Dante was basically saying that that they're talking shit. So yeah, I remember finishing this one. I was like, hey, it was like late at night. I was like, at least I put some good amount of effort into this one. Anyways, like 388, very lazy because I was working on the next drawing, which is a really good one. 389, woohoo. Okay, I really love this one. I think this one is, I don't know if I like it more than day 400. I don't know. I really like it though. So again, at the very beginning of Fraud, right before, like right as he exits violence and is about to enter Fraud, he has to enter Fraud by climbing on the back of Geryon with Virgil. And so Geryon in Greek mythology, and in this context too, is like this, at least in the, like I think there's like a lot of different interpretations in Greek mythology, but in this context he used it as a half man, half dragon. And he called this, in this context, it's the Beast of Fraud. And it would spiral down over this abyss and into Fraud, and they would crash into it. So I don't like half-human creatures that much. At least I like actual dragons a lot more than I do half-human, half-dragon. So I just drew Geryon as an actual dragon. But I wanted to keep that, like, I wanted to make sure, like, I wanted to at least, like, respect the fact that he's originally half-human, half-dragon, so I added these hands that are kind of around his horn. But yeah. So that's the River Phlegethon. I don't know if there's a waterfall after or into the abyss, but I just think it'd be really cool if there was a waterfall of blood into the abyss in hell. So that's what I did. And yeah, that's Sisyphus on his toe, and that's the boulder down there. But yeah, okay, there's a few more things I want to mention about the layer Fraud. One, I can't remember which Bulgia it is. It's like I think it's like 5-6 or something, 5-6 or 7. I can't remember. It's the hypocrites. They have to walk in a line as well, but they have big leaded cloaks weighing down on them. I think that's a kind of a cool one. And then also the Gustav Doré drawing in the anime for Chainsaw Man is the politicians, the corrupt politicians. They are put into a boiling pit of tar, and they're these demons with pitchforks. And the Gustav Doré drawing in Chainsaw Man is a guy who managed to escape by leaping like a frog, by the way, because it's silly. A demon, by leaping into a boiling pit of tar, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to... I mean, if you haven't watched Chainsaw Man, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But I just like Chainsaw Man, so I'm pretty sure it's supposed to symbolize Dante, or not Dante, Denji's situation when he meets Makima, because he was with the Yakuza originally, so him going from the Yakuza to Makima is actually just like, it's barely an improvement. It's like going from being attacked by this demon into a boiling pit of tar. Anyways, okay. 390. So, I like this one. It's really silly. It's just a cute little smiley face, and I had even added another smiley face there. So I did not get to do a digital drawing of treachery. I'll explain what the punishment is anyways. Basically, there's 4 different... it's the lake Cocytus from Greek mythology, and in this, it's in the Dante's Inferno, it's depicted as a giant lake of ice. And depending on your type of treachery, there's... and I can't remember the exact order, but depending on your type of treachery, the exact order... It's not the exact order, but it's like treachery against family, treachery against your guests, treachery against your political party, and treachery against God or religion. I think it might be that order actually, but I'm not too sure. And they all like have like the different sections have different names. I can't remember all of them, but I'm pretty sure the family one's obviously Cana. That's very easy to understand why that's named after that. One of them's Ptolemaea or something like that. And then I can't remember the other ones. So I think one's named after like a knight or something. I'm pretty sure the religion, like the god one's named is like Judicia, obviously, like Judas. I can't, and I know one's Ptolemaea, but I can't remember why. Like I don't know, like Ptolemy. Sorry, I don't know like what that's referring to, but yeah. And the lower down the more severe the type of treachery, the lower you are into this ice. And in fact, he like even says explicitly that at one of them, like their tears, it gets to the point where your tears are frozen. so your suffering cannot be released, and it just goes back inwards and makes it even worse. Thank you for that, Jonte. But yeah. And so there's like some famous things in there, like Count Ugolino and his biting on the head of the Archbishop who betrayed him. But Count Ugolino also betrayed him. It's like the story about him starving to death in that basement with his sons. It's a very famous one. Go read it. Go read In the Inferno. But if you're gonna only read one Kanto, read the one about Count Ugolino and his sons, please. That one's a really harrowing story. But yeah, he's munching on the guy, or gnawing on the head of the guy who did that to him, who trapped him in this like jail with his sons where they all starved. He had to eat his own sons. And then eventually starved to death himself anyways. Yeah, pretty horrible. So I did not get time to finish the drawing of treachery for the 390s because I ended up working so much on the 400s and I was very busy. But for the day 430s, I believe, I end up finishing it. So watch the next video for it. Because you'll see why I didn't get to finish it. It's very complex, you'll see. But anyways. So yeah, day 390, and then 391's funny. Oh wait, hold on. I just wanted to show that I wanted to get a zoom in of 390 because it's just so silly. But then I just wanted to show that it was like on the same page as 386. Okay. And 391, it's funny because it's just the same thing on Microsoft Paint, but he turned his smile upside down instead of his frown upside down. Still recording, right? Yeah. How long have I been? 49 minutes. That's good. Okay. And 392, another Microsoft Paint one. 393, I don't know. I don't know why I was in all caps either. It was a really weird mood there. 394. Okay, Beating of Wings. So, as I mentioned earlier, at the very bottom of Hell in Treachery with Judas, Brutus, and Cassius is Satan. And he says the reason why all of Hell is frozen down here is because the beating of Satan's wings cool it down and make it cold. So, there you go. And that's why it says Beating of Wings. 395, I started like having a little list of things I need to do. So, I was like, oh, I need to draw 395. So, I just incorporated the task I had. I incorporated the day 395. Like, I had that written before I made the drawing. So I was like, wait, I can just use that for the little, the little timestamp I have on all of it. So, there you go. 396, 397. 398 was Halloween. I was really fucking tired. 399. There's a little, like, story or, like, message I wrote with this one. Same with 400. Go look at my Twitter or come ask me on Discord if you want to see it. Because I like talking to people, and I can't be bothered to remember what I wrote. So, but yeah, the purple, like glowing thing that you can see in the corner, you'll see why that's there right now. Day 400. So, day 400 landed on the Day of the Dead, November 2nd. So, I drew him facing off with Santa Muerta. Yeah, I really like this one. His face is not that good, but yeah, it's fine. I think this came out really good. His face is, I think his body looked pretty good though. I mean, the totally non-gay way. Another thing is, I'm kind of proud of myself. I think purple and yellow are like complementary colors. So I had the aura of Santa Muerta be purple, and then like the sky above her with the candles and stuff be yellow. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Santa Muerta it's not an official saint recognized by the Catholic Church, but it's like the patron saint of the dead. So yeah, and she usually is like depicted with floral motifs, so I put a floral crown on her. And then the scythe, I really like what the scythe ended up looking like. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, there you go. Okay, what do I want to say now that I'm done? Also yeah, this was a fucking nightmare to get done. It's just like it's kind of messy, but you can tell what it's supposed to be. It was so hard to do, bro. Could not figure it out. I could not find any good references for a skeleton hand pointing. It was, Okay, a few things I want to say. If anyone knows how to make skin texture blending properly, please tell me. Come tell me. I am so confused on how, because I see these paintings where, they just know exactly where to put, different toning and different shading and different coloring of skin on the body. And I just don't know how to color skin properly. I don't know how to make it look like skin. Because I don't want it to just be one solid color. But I just don't know how to choose where the color is going to change. I just don't know how it works. So someone please help me with that. I cannot find anywhere how that works at all. Like even on like courses and I still don't know. So please someone help me with that. If you would like to, of course. No pressure. Okay. And finally, go check out my friend's stuff in the description. Check out my stuff in the description. And what else? Read Dante's Inferno. It's my favorite book. Yeah, talk to me. Talk to me on Discord too. Okay, that's about it. Thank you. Bye. Oh yeah, and it's also Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, bye.